Could Bryant-Denny Stadium be adding a new name, another legend to the field? Alabama football moving to morning practices. Kalen DeBoer talked about that. And Nate Oats has officially hired his newest assistant coach. We'll get into that, maybe some more right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. That's a great way of saying roll tide. Let's get this thing started. Great to have you guys with us. Brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Let's roll. Everybody, it's Mick Gillespie right here on the Cubs baseball channel. Make sure that you guys like and follow, be part of what we do at Broadcaster Mick on the socials. And Big Elmo will be back tomorrow. So you got just me today. All right, let's talk some Alabama football, though. And this is a really exciting move for Alabama. You figured it would come, but I guess that it's, officially official, right? Nick Saban is not going to be Alabama's football coach, but we knew that. Kalen DeBoer's taken over. It hurts. It hurts to see the GOAT on ESPN and not coaching Alabama, not getting onto the media during interviews, not on the sideline, getting after the players. It's Kalen DeBoer's team now, and it's time to honor Nick Saban. So Friday, July 19th, the University of Alabama System Board of Trustees, they are going to virtually vote at 11 a.m., which is today, to figure out if they will approve the consideration of resolution approving a naming at Bryant-Denny Stadium at UA. Okay, I know I just butchered all that, but you know what I mean. Nick Saban's been Alabama's coach 17 years. Think about how beautiful it was. 6 national championships. How many, 11 conference championships, 23 of his teams played in bowl games, 10 wins every single year. Last year lost after winning the SEC over Georgia, which was absolutely fantastic. And now Greg Byrne wants to name the field after Nick Saban. So I don't think they would take Bryant or Denny off of the name. So it wouldn't be like Saban Bryant-Denny Stadium. I think it would be Saban Field or Nick Saban Field is what I'm hearing, and that they would unveil this at the stadium on September 7th. So which would be cool. Honestly, they ought to make maybe Bryant-Denny, move Bryant and Saban together, and then move Denny down, make Denny the field, and have it like Bryant Saban Field, just so that you have to say it more. But how these things go. I mean, but no one besides Bear Bryant even rivals what Nick Saban did at Alabama. And they're the two GOATs. I mean, they really are. Paul Bear Bryant won a bunch of championships. He was amazing at Alabama, back-to-back titles, did all his stuff. And we never thought we'd see anything like it again. And then Nick Saban rolled in, and all he did was kind of emulate the Bear, and doing it his own way. Bear Bryant was a legend on and off the field. Nick Saban is still contributing to college football. He's the most trusted guy in football. He is honestly just the best. I mean, there's really nothing else you can say about him. We can criticize him, and I do sometimes, different things, knick-knack stuff. But when you put the whole body of work together, there's never been a better football coach in the history of the game. And it was absolutely amazing to watch the run that Nick Saban had at Alabama. So let's get ready for it. Nick Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Roll Tide, right? So the new coach is starting to kind of have his impact felt, and that is Kalen DeBoer. I thought Kalen DeBoer did a fantastic job of basically just managing the replacing of the greatest ever. I mean, the guy he replaced he's going to be walking on that guy's field, right? So, but you have to have the right mentality when you take on a challenge like this. And Kalen DeBoer certainly has. He hasn't really changed a whole lot of stuff, but one of the things that's big that's going to change that he talked about was doing morning practices. He thinks that basically you know what? You could do afternoon practices. That's what Nick Saban did. You could do morning practices. That there's really no right or wrong thing. He just likes DeBoer the schedule better when you have the morning practice. Guys can watch more film. They can work together more. You're not as rushed after practice, because you have the whole day. How does that translate? I think with Nick Saban doing the afternoon practices, you're out there in the dead of the heat. You kind of get used to that. His whole thing was always toughness. I think you got to be a little bit tougher at the end of the day than you do at the beginning of the day, just because you've used all the energy that you've used to get to that point. Normally wake up, go out and do it. I think you're going to be a little bit fresh. The thing I wonder is how much retention do you have morning practice compared to afternoon or evening practice? And I'm sure that a lot of you guys watching played football and did it different ways. A lot of high school football, you have to do it in the afternoon because, once school starts, you got school in the morning, right? So then you have afternoon, and maybe like the beginning of the year, you would do morning before school, like this time of year. And then eventually you would do afternoon practices. So we'll see what happens. But the bottom line is this, is that Kalen DeBoer's got to do things the way that he wants to do it. It's his program. It's his team. So for him to have the success that he wants to have, the way that's going to get there is by him doing the things that he thinks are going to work best. And so if that's the way he's done it, do it that way. I don't think it's a major change. All I'm hoping is that one day we're naming something after DeBoer because he comes in and wins a bunch of championships. And I think the guy's on a mission. I can feel it every time I see him talk, and every time you're around him, you can feel it. The guy knows that he can win championships at Alabama. That's his only goal. So not a major move, but a move for Alabama to go to the morning practices. And then how about this? Nate Oats officially hiring Bryan Adams. How long ago did we talk about Oats hiring Adams as his assistant coach, right? But you're talking about a guy that has over 10 years of coaching experience as an assistant in the NBA. He was with the Detroit Pistons 23 and 24. This is a big asset to the program. And it also shows you that Nate Oats now is a coach that you could be at the biggest league there is and look and go, you know what? I want to go work for that guy. Forget about how bad Coleman Coliseum is and the track record that Alabama basketball had up until now. Now's a different game. And I'm sure for Adams, he's looking and going, I can win a national championship at Alabama. And I look at all the assistant coaches. It's becoming a lot like Nick Saban's coaching tree, where now Nate Oats has a coaching tree. The guys are getting other jobs. They're becoming recommended because of the success that they've had at Alabama. So Nate Oats is excited about having him, getting him to Tuscaloosa, bringing his family there. And, and obviously, bringing in someone that has had the experiences of working with guys like James Harden and, another Cade Cunningham, players like that, big time players. And then taking that experience and pushing it out to this talented group that Alabama has right now, which is one of the most talented basketball teams that Alabama's ever had. So it's now you got to take the talent, you got to take what you did last year, and that's got to translate into wins and becoming a dominant program, going out there with one mission and one mission alone, and that is to win a national championship. So from Pine Plains, New York, coached at Harvard, Marist, and then, of course, the Pistons, the 76ers, the Clippers. So a bunch of, NBA jobs. It was a video coordinator for the Celtics back 2007, 2011. But they say he's a high character guy. And the exact quote was roll tide type dude. So I love that. Give me a roll tide type dude at Alabama, right? Well, that's it. And look, we're keeping an eye on the recruiting. Things are going to heat back up. The staff obviously has been focused on what's going on at SEC Media Days. Jalen Milroe, fantastic job on the mic. Malachi Moore looked fantastic. Tyler Booker, anytime the guy talks, you fall in love with him. Makes you proud to be an Alabama person to see him on the mic. But we're keeping an eye on the recruiting trail. Could Alabama pull in a prospect. I think that there's a distinct possibility that could happen sometime soon. So keep an eye out for that. And we appreciate you being here. Let me tell you this, guys. As you get ready for a big weekend, I want to tell you about our friends at Pearl River Resort over there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. You love them. We love them. Great people. Great place. The Timeout Sports Lounge is in Golden Moon Casino. That is your place to go and gamble legally like we just did out in Vegas and not have to fly out to Vegas, not have the 4-hour flights, not have the $20 beers, not have the long line to get into the places, which is something else we dealt with out there, and the 115-degree heat, different heat. It was like being in an incinerator out there in Vegas. All of that can be avoided by going to Philadelphia, Mississippi, hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2.5 hours from Birmingham. Great place. And we really appreciate them. But they got the table games and slots. They also have the water park, Geyser Falls, which is fantastic for the families. And then if you go to the sports book and you play $50, you can play Dancing Rabbit, which is the Augusta you can play because you can play it for $40. And we've got some big concerts that we're going to tell you about. They just added some to the docket. Rodney Carrington's going to be out there. So a lot of really fun stuff at Pearl River. So make sure that you guys check it out. And then finally, New Life Art, use the promo code Bama Tailgate for a discount off of your next print. Now that we're getting close to football season, you got to pimp out the man cave. Now's the time to do it. Check out newlifeart.com. Thanks for hanging, guys, and roll tide, everybody. Have a great weekend, although we're never off. We will talk to you guys again tomorrow.
To Pearl River Resort.